We're here at Microsoft Ignite 2018 with deployment guru Mikael Nystrom and his colleague Jordan Benzing. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
Let's start with you, Jordan. What's your function with TrueSec?
My function with TrueSec, it's largely on config manager based, as well as developing reports, establishing compliance, and helping develop processes, procedures, standards, and then once you define what those are, helping to build out automation to reclaim time.
Thank you. And Michael, I think most people know you, but...
Yeah, I focus on basically four things. I do client deployment across the world. I do server and data center deployment across the world. I play World of Tanks, World of Battleships, and World of Fighter Planes, and I'm grumpy. In general, it's true, right? Yeah.
You're not wrong.
You presented on Ignite. What was your session?
The session was expert level Windows 10 deployment. Yes, we did it last Thursday, on Thursday afternoon. Full crowd, people, audience, so funny. Lots of questions actually in the end. It's a session that we've been doing before. We always add new content. The focus on that session is legacy deployment, meaning how do you do with OSD and config manager, OSD and MDT? How do you do all these weird things that you might not need to, but somebody tells you that we really need to have this start menu layout modified, so we went through that. Bias to UEFI conversions, automation. So it was a full-packed session.
So you had no focus on new stuff like Autopilot and modern deployment of Windows?
Absolutely not. Let's talk about that, because I think that is going to be the only way in the future. I think that the stuff I've been doing over the, 10, 15, 20 years or something like that, we are now reaching the level of that's old. And the reason is it's not needed. Today, imaging means that somebody that is an admin needs to do the installation. Somebody needs credentials to join the domain. Somebody needs to deal with drivers, and all these tools are purified and they are getting better and better and better, but we are reaching the end of that era. It doesn't need to be that anymore. Actually, a couple of years ago, a guy said, well, if I buy a Surface Pro device, it's already Windows on it and it's kind of working. Why do I need to redeploy it? At that time, I said, well, you need your custom image. Well, my custom image is just Windows. So I don't really need to do that. Why can't I just join the domain? Well, you can, just, your image. You need to deploy image. But he didn't get that, and I didn't really understand what he said. But that is basically Autopilot. I think that's going to be the future. It has to be. Today, the current version of Autopilot actually works. It doesn't work for everyone, it doesn't work for every organization, but it does work. The beauty is that you take a machine with just Windows and nothing else, and you power it on, and you basically log on as the user. It will automatically be joined into the domain. It will install the Intune configuration. It will be registered as an Active Directory registered device, and you can install applications. And this week they presented things like, now it's possible to install 32-bit Win32 application. Cool, so we can add basically whatever we want. It is possible to today add the config manager agent. Hey, we can now co-manage this device, which means that the entire Autopilot now becomes kind of a bootstrap, right? And the one part that I like best is that, let's say we do that, it's registered and everything's working. The machine kind of, gets weird. That happens, right? Windows 10 can get weird. The user now have the ability to reset the device. And what happens is that it reconfigures itself back into Azure Active Directory. It reinstalls the application, has the same name as last time. You can do that remote even, but that means that we don't need to have IT running around in classrooms resetting devices. And IT can focus on something important like security, like detection, like.
So is Autopilot going to be the end of certain products, you think? I'm thinking of ECC, for instance.
So no, I think one of the biggest messages that was really, really strongly conveyed this week was that Config Manager is not going away anytime soon. There's still going to be a need for it. Autopilot, it fits a lot of the niche market right now. It does a really good job for the marketing people, the sales people, the people that are constantly in the field, on the go, and things like that. But there's going to be industries out there, and really big industries that make a lot of money and stuff like that, that just, it doesn't quite fit their business model. Take manufacturing, for example, right? If you done any work in manufacturing, you have these certain Windows machines that the way they get built, the way they get designed, they're not even supposed to be on the internet at the end of the process. They can talk to the internet to get re-imaged, to get applications, the software, but they're not going to talk to the internet. That doesn't work so great for the other side of the stuff like that. However, there might be office user computers, right, where they're most of the time in the office, but every now and again they take that laptop home with them, or they go to a convention to talk about pharmaceuticals or this, that, and anything. Intune, MDM, fantastic additional solution to it. Cloud Management Gateway, fantastic solution to it. We extend out our management. We extend our network. We open it up so that we can find new ways to manage and take control of those devices and ensure they stay compliant and stay secure, and they don't bring the bad back with us.
No, and there's another couple of scenarios which I think is interesting. Right now I'm working with a customer that they need kiosk devices. Okay, so they need So what is the kiosk about to do? Well, it should start and it should automatically log on. Okay, and it needs to present the web page. Anything else? No, that's it. You can do that using an Autopilot profile, which means that just imagine, we need 10 new kiosk devices. Okay, register them in Intune Autopilot, power on, log on. I'm done here. It's done. It's kind of working. Do I need to do anything? No. If the kiosk gets hacked or something like that, reset the device and it's going to spin back up again, and log on again, and go like, hey, I'm done. It's a kiosk device. Now, one of the reasons I know Autopilot is going to be amazing, at least in the end, is because I know at least one person that works on that team, and he's been doing everything he has done so far as I know, has been either great or fantastic or awesome, and that is Mikael, and he's in charge. He's a developer at the Autopilot team. And just having him there is, at least for me, it's just very personal. It's for me, it's a guarantee it's going to work, because he's one of those that really, he knows how customers are working. He knows what people really need, and he can translate that into technology stuff. So I think that's one of the guarantees Autopilot's going to. I don't know what you think, but yeah, that's at least my opinion.
So Autopilot will make things way more efficient for the future in deploying your systems. And have you looked at the way, currently there's like the classic way of deployment. Microsoft is kind of creating a way to move away from that into Autopilot. What do you think of what they created in that scenario?
Well, they're doing a couple of things. They as we told you, they released the ability to install Win32 application. That's a breakthrough. I know they talked about things like, could we possibly upgrade to Enterprise while we're doing that? Maybe that's going to happen in the future. They talked about possibilities of removing OEM applications. Maybe that's going to happen, and so on and so on. So I really believe this is going to be something like every month for the next 2-3 years. There's going to be adding this feature, adding this feature, adding this feature. They did a demo on Sunday on the workshop, which was very interesting. Let's say that you don't want to buy a computer. You have one. You just want to shift it into be managed by Windows Autopilot. Okay, so how can you do that? Well, you basically redeploy the machine using your current deployment solution, but it doesn't join the domain. It doesn't install any application. It doesn't do anything at all. But in the end, we're going to put a JSON file in a certain folder on that machine. And when it reboots, it's going to go like, hey, I'm Autopilot. I'm going to reach out. I'm registered here, so I'm going to do all that stuff. So that's going to be a way for some customers to take the existing machines they have and shift over to Autopilot. Not for every machine in the office, but for the sales rep, the guy that travels, the light managed users, the kiosk devices. And then you're going to run everything else like you used to until you start buying new computers, and applications are changing, because that is key. The key is when applications are becoming modern, we don't need to deploy the applications the same way. And in that case, Autopilot is going to work for everyone.
Thank you very much. Jordan, do you have anything to add to what Mikael just said?
No, I think he covered it. We were talking earlier this week a little bit. I think we're putting one more jacket in the closet, and I think that jacket's going to fit a lot of seasons that we see out there, and it's going to keep getting better and better and better.
Thank you guys very much. Thank you for your insights.